This is a 2022 Dodge Challenger GT Edition, and here's why I think it's a piece of shit and a usability nightmare. So some notes on this Dodge Challenger GT. It MSRPs for $34,000, and then on my phone I have a list of features that it comes with. Comes with performance steering and suspension. Comes with these very, very nice cloth seats with performance bolsters. It comes with park sense as standard, and then it comes with these really, really nice 20-inch wheels, as you can see. For some background, I drive a 2018 Golf R with a dual clutch transmission, so many of my thoughts and experiences will be based off of that Golf. This car is such a big boy. It is such a pain in the ass to drive. It is huge compared to my Golf, which I'll put on the screen right here. This is massive, and I can't really think of a good reason why. This is a coupe. My Golf has 4 doors. It's quite a bit smaller. It's just as usable. This is supposed to be Dodge's like quote unquote sports car. Why is it so big? Why do they do that? People always complain about the visibility in these, muscle cars, but yeah, it's warranted. it's really bad. So I am around 6'2". I have the seat as low as it can go. And this camera is at my eye level right here, and you can see just this roof line right here is so obstructing to my space. I don't know why they couldn't put the seat any lower or move the windshield up quite a bit. I get that maybe it would make the car look a little bit less cool, but just the fact that like a good chunk of my visibility is taken up by this roof is just atrocious. In addition, there's this lovely pillar right here that makes it impossible to see what is on either side of it. Continuing on with the visibility, when you're backing up into a space, it's very nice. So as standard with this GT, we have these parking sensors, and then we have a rear view camera. My gripe is that you're looking at your rear view camera, but then the parking sensor location is on a different screen. It's on your instrument cluster. So you kind of have to do this weird dance of looking back and forth to see, okay, what's on the camera? What is the parking sensor detecting? Granted, the beeps help quite a bit, but why would they just not have this image overlaid on here? Why would they want us to go back and forth on these screens? It was not thought through at all. So I've talked about kind of how big this car is and how it's a pain in the ass to park with the parking sensors and the visibility. When you finally get it parked and you open the door, you have to open it basically halfway open, because there's no little rivets to stop it at like a quarter or like 3/4 of the way open. It's either half open or all the way open right here. And let me get out so I can show you this a little bit better. Open it. This is half open right here. Like, this is, I don't know if I can convey this in the camera. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. And then this is full way open, which is fine. You kind of want it to be all the way open, but there's only 2 rivets, either half open or fully open. The trunk is such a pain in the ass to open. So it is so heavily weighted that in order to open it with one hand, you have to get a really good grip and then push it open with pretty noticeable force. Ideally, you would use 2 hands, but I'm just imagining like an old little lady trying to get it open and not being able to, because I'm 6'2", like 210 pounds. I work out, and it's such a pain in the ass to get open. This is where everything starts to fall apart. The materials for the dash and the door, it has to be probably the cheapest plastic that I have ever felt in like a modern day vehicle. It's crazy that this is a 2022 34K MSRP vehicle, and this is the stuff you get. This is the screen size. These buttons just feel straight out of like a Kia from the early 2000s. Like, it's just absolutely pitiful. There's no styling for this dash. There's no sort of separation between the glove box and then this upper dash right here. The doors are just absolutely hideous, just black, no cool stitching, no difference of materials. It's just absolutely pitiful for a 2022 model. There's no good spot to put your phone anywhere when you're driving. So I've tried just about everything. I've tried putting it in the cup holders. If you put it in this little thing right here, it'll just kind of flop around and go back and forth. My phone is not, this is just like a Pixel 7. It's not big enough to sit flat right here as well. If you put it flat right here, this is not a lip. This is actually flat and flush with the rest of this console. So your phone just basically flops around and there's no place to put it. This one bugs the shit out of me. So when you start the car, it defaults to the FM radio station, regardless of whatever you were listening to before. So if you're listening to your phone, which you have to struggle to connect to, you think it would just boot up and then be on the media screen, right? Or like be on your phone screen, waiting for it to pair. But it always defaults to FM radio, and it's always the station that you were last listening to. It also defaults to the same volume as well. So say you're jamming out to some tunes on your phone. When you get back in the car, it's the same exact volume, but on the FM radio. The climate controls have really been a big pain point for me and quite a puzzle as well. So in order to see what fan speed you're on, you have to turn the fan speed knob and then it pops up in the screen right here. In addition, you would think that if you're able to, turn the knob from 1 to 0, it would actually turn the fan off. But no, you have to hit the off button, which is very different from most cars that I've been in. Not that big of a deal, but what I absolutely hate is in order to change almost any of the climate settings, you have to go in this climate menu and then click one of these buttons to either adjust the direction where the fan is going out, the fan speed, if it's synced or not, air circulation. Granted, there are buttons for the front and rear defroster, temperature, and then air recirculation, but like why is there a mute button? like why would they not put like a climate mode button here to bring up the climate menu super quickly, or just like a button to kind of cycle through the different modes? Like, who has ever wanted a mute button before? Like, you can just turn down the volume or just click off, right? It's such a bad user experience to have to click through multiple buttons to change one simple setting. This steering wheel is pretty decent. You got your buttons on this side for like hands-free calling, moving around this menu, cruise control. There's some blank switches right here, but this is kind of expected on a base model. When I first got in this car, I was really confused on where the volume the volume controls are, along with the change track selection. Turns out they're on the back right there on either side. And what's really confusing to me is I've been driving this car for around 2 weeks. This could be a skill issue, I admit, but I don't know which, I often confuse which button is the volume control and then which one is the next track. So I'll be jamming out to a track, I want to turn up the volume, I change the track. And there's no sort of indication to what is which. And I know you probably get used to it over time, but I've been driving this for about 2 weeks and I still occasionally make this error. With this car, I've been having pretty abysmal Bluetooth connectivity between my Pixel 7 right here and this car. So I'm not too sure why they did this. So my phone is going to connect automatically as I have connected to it in the past. We'll just wait for that to pop up. You can check the settings right here. Yep, there we go. Uconnect has connected. And I'm going to go ahead and play a song. We'll play Pack of Gum by Demo Tape. On the infotainment screen, I'm playing media off of my Bluetooth device. And for some reason, every time I start the car, I have to go to media, I have to go to select source, even though there's only one source right here playing. select Bluetooth, and then it plays. This is something I have to do every time I get in the car. I have to go to select source, click on the Bluetooth device, and then connect to it. It's such a bad user experience. When backing up in reverse and the parking sensors are active, it mutes any sort of media or phone call that is currently going on. So I'm going to call Geico on my phone right now.
Thank you for calling Geico. Your call may be recorded for quality purposes.
I'm going to put it in reverse.
Para español, marque 7.
Backing up.
I see your phone.
Just completely mutes the phone call. And many other calls, you can actually adjust the volume and have it stay on. But for some reason in this Dodge, you can't do that. I was on a phone call with my mom when I was backing up into a parking spot, and I just couldn't hear her anymore. I was like absolutely appalled by that. I don't know why they don't have that setting in here. When you're chilling in your car, waiting for someone or waiting for something, right? You can turn off the engine and the ignition and just listen to music, right? Like the infotainment will stay on. You can keep listening. All is good. In this car, for some reason, the music turns off after like a minute of playing. So here, I'll just film this real quick. I'll probably speed through it. Pack of gum, demo tape, great song. And yeah, we'll watch it turn off for some reason. What is that? What? I want to stay in my car longer and listen to music. It doesn't, like, why does it do that? So these windows are great. They are auto windows and they auto roll down. Thank you, Dodge. We love that. They don't auto roll back up at all. You have to hold it to roll it back up. Driving the Dodge Challenger GT. So this car, it's very, very weird what Dodge decided to do with it. So they gave it the sports suspension, the sports steering. It makes the suspension really, really stiff and really, really bumpy. Like you can feel quite a bit on the road. Any like imperfection, any slight deviance, you can feel that, which is great for a sports car, right? They did not do the same suspension tuning for when you turn the vehicle. As soon as you take any sort of slight curve or turn, the whole car just has the worst body roll. You can feel it immediately. It makes for a very, very weird driving experience because you get that sporty experience when you drive in a straight line. As soon as you take a turn like this, it's just like you don't want to take it fast because you don't feel like you're in control. It's very, very odd. I will give it accolades for its acceleration. I was doing 6.2 seconds 0 to 60s, which is good. I think this is like the perfect amount of acceleration that anyone needs. My Volkswagen Golf, I'll do a little flex. I can do around 4 seconds, I'd say, and I never needed to go that quick. This is more than enough horsepower and acceleration for anyone, really. Okay, so final conclusions on the 2022 Dodge Challenger GT. I tried to go into this open-minded, so my car is in the shop for a few weeks, and I always kind of chat on the Challengers, but I've never actually driven one, so I was gonna give it a chance, right? I was gonna drive it, keep an open mind to it, and as you can tell, I absolutely hated it. Just it's compromised in pretty much every single way. The visibility is poor, it's huge. It's really not that fast. The only thing going for it is that it looks cool and that normies, like non-car enthusiasts, actually kind of like it. I do like the color as well. I'll give it that. But other than that, it's gilded. It looks cool, but underneath, it's just a piece of shit. Buy a 2017 Mustang GT for less money than this costs new. And that's it. Leave a comment. Tell me what you thought. Make fun of me. I'm sure I pissed a lot of y'all off. And yeah, have a nice day.